Welcome back to America's Forum. I'm J.D. Hayworth. A word of thanks to Congressman Tom Price, who, despite his busy schedule, has agreed to stay for this segment. Dr. Tom, we appreciate it very much. It's great to have you, sir. And I said in bringing you on that you're a doctor in the House. And that's one of my points. You're a doctor in the House, not in the Senate. It seems anything you do in the House to try to ease the burden of Obamacare or abolish it outright is canceled out by the Senate, Harry Reid, and the Democrat majority. How do you explain that politically to the folks back home who are getting so frustrated?
Well, they understand. The American people understand that they've been lied to by the president. They can't keep the kind of coverage that they liked in spite of the president's promise. And American people also understand that Harry Reid and the Democrats in the Senate won't allow the kind of positive reforms that need to be put into place to even come to the floor of the Senate. Now, we've got to keep harping on that, and we've got to keep making certain that we're providing that positive contrast, which is why I and many of my colleagues in the House have put forward common-sense solutions to the health care challenges that we face. In fact, we've got over 160 pieces of Republican legislation that address health care, some of them soup-to-nuts variety, some of them very targeted. But there are positive solutions that don't require putting Washington in charge. We believe in patient-centered health care, which means patients and families and doctors making medical decisions, not Washington, D.C.
Tom, I've got Dave Price, senior editor of Newsmax magazine, alongside me here in studio, and he's got a question for you.
Thanks.
Congressman, we all heard during the Super Bowl, President Obama proclaimed that there was not, quote, a smidgen, unquote, of corruption inside the IRS. I want to turn to IRS targeting. The fact is, we know that, number one, there was targeting, but moreover, according to a lot of testimony in front of the House recently, that targeting continues. Let me ask you this. Why hasn't House leadership called for the appointment of a special prosecutor to investigate, to come in and look at these charges and try to ferret out what exactly happened inside the IRS?
Yeah, I think that would be a wise idea, but that's a process question, and what I think the leadership would tell you right now is that Darrell Issa, through the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and Dave Camp and us on Ways and Means, are working through trying to get the information. The administration hasn't even provided the information that we have subpoenaed, that we've asked for from the IRS to see where this trail leads. I don't presume that the president was involved with this, but I do know that it wasn't a rogue element in Ohio, in an Ohio IRS office that made these decisions. We know it goes straight to Lois Lerner, which is why I presume that she took the Fifth Amendment. But we're going to continue to, whether it's through a select committee or a special committee, whether it's through the committees of jurisdiction right now, that the American people finally get the explanation for why the IRS was used in such a political manner. And it was, and it's egregious, and it's chilling, and it absolutely must stop.
Well, Congressman Tom Price, we have to stop our time with you right now, but we thank you very much for the chance to visit, and we appreciate your perspective both on the IRS and on Obamacare. Thanks very much.
Thanks, J.D. Take care.
Yes, sir. And to Dave Patton, thanks very much. Sometimes I get a little mixed up. Hey, we want you to weigh in and participate in our discussion. We would love to hear from you. Here's what you can do. Tweet us your questions at